Let us continue reading this book by URIAH Smith, Daniel and Revelation, 1897. We're now reading Revelation 8, verse 12, and the comments by URIAH Smith, quoting other sources. Father in heaven, I thank you and I praise you for this day that we can read the message. I pray, Father, that your spirit of wisdom, spirit of revelation will be upon us today. I pray in the name of your Son, through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. URIAH Smith wrote, but in their prophetic order, the consulship and the Senate of Rome met their fate, though they fell not by the hands of Vandals or of Goths. The next revolution in Italy was in subjection to Belisarius, the general of Justinian, emperor of the East. He did not spare what barbarians had hallowed. The Roman consulship extinguished by Justinian, AD 541, is the title of the last paragraph of the 40th chapter of Gibbon's History of the Decline and Fall of Rome. The succession of the consuls finally ceased in the 13th year of Justinian, whose despotic temper might be gratified by the silent extension of a title which admonished the Romans of their ancient freedom. The third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, the third part of the stars, in the political firmament of the ancient world, while under the reign of imperial Rome. The emperorship, the consulate, and the senate shone like the sun, the moon, and the stars. The history of their decline and fall is brought down till the two former were extinguished, in reference to Rome and Italy, which so long had ranked as the first of cities and of countries. And finally, as the fourth trumpet closes, we see the extinction of that illustrious assembly, the Roman Senate. The city that had ruled the world as if in a mockery of human greatness was conquered by the eunuch Narcissus, the successor of Belisarius. He defeated the Goths, AD 552, achieved all the conquest of Rome, and the fate of the Senate was sealed. Eliot, in his book, Apocalyptica, Volume 1, pages 357-360, speaks of the fulfillment of this portion of the prophecy and the extinction of the Western Empire as follows. Thus was the final catastrophe preparing by which the Western emperors and empire were to become extinct. The glory of Rome had long departed. Its provinces, one after another, been rent from it. The territory still attached to it become like a desert, and its maritime possession and its fleets and commerce been annihilated. Little remained to it but the vain titles and insignia of sovereignty. And now the time was come when these two were to be withdrawn, some 20 years or more from the death of Attila, and much less from the death of Genseric, who ere his death had indeed visited and ravaged the eternal city in one of his maritime marauding expeditions, and thus yet more prepared the coming consummation. About this time, I say, Albiaser, chief of the Heruli, a barbarian remnant of the host of Attila, left on the Alpine frontiers of Italy, interposed with his command that the name and the office of Roman Emperor of the West should be abolished. The authorities bowed in submission to him. The last phantom emperor, one whose name Romulus Augustus, was singularly calculated to bring in contrast before the reflected mind of the past glories of Rome and its present degradation, abdicated, and the Senate sent away the imperial insignia to Constantinople, professing to the emperor of the East that one emperor was sufficient for the whole of the empire, thus of the Roman imperial sun. The third, which appertained to the Western Empire, was eclipsed and shone no more. I say third of its orb, which appertained to the Western Empire, for the apocalyptic fraction is literally accurate. In the last arrangement between the two courts, the whole of the Illyrian third had been made over to the Eastern division. Thus in the West, the extinction of the empire had taken place. The night had fallen. We'll read the next paragraph the next time. May God our Father bless you, and His Son